start clout.
There's this notion that making money is evil. It's like rooted all the way back down to money is the root of all evil. People think that the bankers steal our money. And, it's somewhat true in that in a lot of the world, there's a lot of theft going on all the time. The history of the world, in some sense, is this predator-prey relationship between makers and takers. There are people who go out and create things and build things and work hard on things, and then there are people who come along and feed with a sword or a gun or taxes or crony capitalism or communism. There's all these different methods to steal. Even in nature, there are more parasites than there are non-parasitical organisms. You have a ton of parasites in you who are living off of you, and the better ones are symbiotic, they're giving something back, but there are a lot that are just taking. That's just the nature of how any complex system is built. But what I am basically focused on is true wealth creation. There's all these different methods to steal, methods to steal, methods to steal. There's all these different methods to steal. True wealth creation. There's all these different methods to steal. It's not about taking money, it's not about taking something from somebody else, but it's from creating abundance. Obviously, there's not a finite number of jobs or a finite amount of wealth. Otherwise, we would still be sitting around in caves, figuring out how to divide up pieces of firewood and, the occasional dead deer. Most of the wealth in civilization, in fact, not most, basically all of it has been created. And it got created from somewhere. It got created from people. It got created from technology. It got created from productivity. It got created from hard work. So this idea that is stolen is, I think, this horrible zero-sum game that people who are trying to gain status play. But the reality is, everyone can be rich. We can see that by seeing that in the first world, everyone is basically richer than almost anyone who was alive 200 years ago. 200 years ago, nobody had antibiotics, nobody had cars, nobody had electricity. So all of these things are inventions that have made us wealthier as a species. Today, I would rather be a poor person in a first world country than be a rich person in Louis XIV's France. And that's just because of wealth creation. True wealth creation. Everyone can be rich. Can be rich. Can be rich. Everybody can be wealthy. True wealth creation. Everyone can be rich. It's not about taking money. It's not about taking something from somebody else, but it's from creating abundance. The engine of technology is science that is applied for the purpose of creating abundance. I think fundamentally everybody can be wealthy. And the thought experiment I want you to think through is, imagine if everybody had the knowledge of a good software engineer and a good hardware engineer. If you could go out there and you could build robots and computers and bridges and program them, let's say every human knew how to do that. What do you think society would look like in 20 years? My guess is what would happen is we would build robots, machines, software, and hardware to do everything, and we would all be living in massive abundance. We would essentially be retired in the sense that none of us would have to work for any of the basics. We'd even have robotic nurses, machine-driven hospitals. We'd have self-driving cars. We'd have farms that are 100% automated. We'd have clean energy. At that point, we could use technology breakthroughs to get everything that we wanted. And if anyone is still working at that point, they're working as a form of expressing their creativity, okay? Because it's in them to contribute and to build and design things. But I don't think capitalism is evil. Capitalism is actually good. It's just that it gets hijacked. It gets hijacked by improper pricing of externalities, by improper deals where that you basically have corruption or you have monopolies. True wealth creation. Everyone can be rich. Can be rich. Can be rich. Everybody can be wealthy. True wealth creation. Everyone can be rich. It's not about taking money. It's not about taking something from somebody else, but it's from creating abundance.